Welcome y'all to High Velocity Rips. This is part 2 of a Score 1991 hockey player cards. We got halfway through the regular cards, and it looks like right about here we're going to have all the special cards, and that should be a lot of fun, especially this year. We do have all the prospects going on right now. All right, let's roll. Bob Wilkie, prospect. Ron Suter, banger. Brian Scoodland, Vincent Damboose, Doug Bodger, Steve Chason, Joe Murphy, Curtis Joseph, Dave Christian, man, these guys are just all so good. Chory Gamble, Brendan Shanahan, Brad Shaw, Mike Ridley, Scott Young, Ed Belfour, Jamie McCoon, Kelly Kissio, Mark Messier, Dave Ellett, Randy Wood, Stephen Finn. Boy, when you made an all-star team in this year, you made an all-star team. Stefan LeBeau, Neil Broughton, Dave Enderchuk, Glenn Wesley, Scott Mellenby, Jeff Brown, Tim Shovelday, Murray Craven, Mark Fitzpatrick, Peter Zezel, Robert Reichel, Ron Francis. Man, they just... Thomas Sandstrom. Every team has the studs, boy. Jan Eriksson, Joe Mullen, Phil Housley, Adam Creighton, Shark Attack. Bam. That's pretty cool. Daniel Morose, Mike Madano, Stephen Richer, Tom Barrasso, Brian Bellows, Dino Cicerelli, Mike Vernon, Ed Olachuk, Vincent Randol, Michael Picard, top prospect. Brothers Kelly and Kevin Miller, Gino Cavallini, Craig Janey, Adam Oates, Rob Ramage, John Casey, Geoff Courtnell, Jeff Courtnell, Yomer Yager, Gary Lehman. Man, there's so many good players. Bill Ransford, Clint Melichuk. Let me see if I can get this right. If we get through these, all right, if we get through these, then we got all the special cards. Paul Stanton, Miles O'Connor, top prospect. Chris King, Alexei Gazarov, Rob Zeitler, Man of the Year, Brett Hull, Sticks on Fire and everything. Wow, that's pretty neat, man. Pat Jablowski, Paul Gillis, Chris Delquist, Mike Sillinger, top prospect. Geoff Sanderson, Chris Javardis, Stefan Morin, Aaron and Neil Broughton, Kurt McLean, Sergei Fedorov, Isa Tikkanen, James Patrick, Mario Lemieux, Kirk Muller, Pat Verbeek, Russ Courtnall, John Leclerc, man, Dennis Vasky, Craig Simpson, Rob Brown, Chris Chelios, Jimmy Carson, Dennis Savard, Mike Richard, Tony Granado, Joe Sakic, Randy Ludicour, Gino and Paul Cavallini, Dale Howardchuk, Mark Howell, Ron Hextall. Look at that. That's Yzerman. He's stoning them and sending them flying. Dave Poulin, Darren Turcotte, Mark Ricci, Patrick Waugh, Doug Wilson, Joe Sacco, Rob Pearson, Gordy Roberts, Mike Lawler, Lume, Lengwe, Michael Goulet, Michael Gartner. Man, this is great. Unbelievable how many good players. Ken Hodge, Peter Stadsny, Gordon Murphy, Dominic Hasek, top prospect, Gary Sawchuk, Steve Casper, Sean Burke, Alexander Mogilny, Jeremy Roenick, Joe Neuendijk, Kevin Dineen, Uwe Krupp, Sergei Makarov, Rob Blake, Dave Tippett, Pat Murray, Pat LaFontaine, Baba Senza, Bernie Nichols, Kelly Rudy, Thomas Steen, Steve Larmer, Kevin Lau, Dave Gagne, Scott Stevens, Frank Pietrangelo, Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champ Mario Lemieux, Dale and Mark Hunter, Kevin Stevens, Brent Sutter, Theo Fleury, John McLean, Matt Sundin, Grant Fuhrer, Mike Ramsey, Glenn Anderson, Corey Millen, Brian Marchant, Randy Volchuk, Gary Suter, Brian Fogarty, Gary Gilmore, Steve Yzerman, Paul Coffey, and Gary Ledyard. All right. We are going to stop that right there and do the next one in a bit.